Did you know that statistically 97% of coaches are missing out on increasing their monthly revenue by over 400% simply because they don't look different to their competition and because they don't have a proven sales and marketing system in place in their business? Well, today what I'm going to show you is exactly how coaches are consistently, predictably and sustainably growing their businesses and waking up to 20 to 30 new leads every day that are their dream clients using the coaching evolution. Now, the best bit about that for coaches is they're never having to worry about sales or marketing either. So let's get straight into this. And first of all, I want to show you a little bit about some of the guys that this has worked for from joining the coaching evolution. So first of all, we've got Susanna, a career coach. So Susanna joined the coaching evolution at a point at the start of 2024 where she had one singular sales call in the whole of 2023. Now, in the period of joining and evolving the way she operates, she's been able to hit her first 10k month and has been able to make over £25,000 in the first 3 months using the coaching evolution strategies. And as you can see here, we've got just some screenshots of our messages and our client interview that we've done celebrating her wins. But then we've also got Jane, a relationship coach. She had spent literal thousands of pounds on failed marketing campaigns, right? And since that point, we evolved the way she operates and she's been able to make £17,435 in a single month for her business, which was actually a record for her. Then we've also got Dr. Stephen, a mindset coach, right? He was similar to Jane. He had tried every strategy under the sun, had spent a lot of money, had tried pretty much everything, right? But we were able to evolve the way he operates and we were able to add 5k a month in recurring revenue to his business. So Susanna, Jane, Stephen all have a predictable system they can rely on to consistently bring them their dream clients. But previously, they had no idea how to find their dream clients and they just didn't know how to leverage Instagram to find them either. They had no lead flow, no idea which strategy to use, and they were just stuck. Now, they tried some ads, they tried other platforms like LinkedIn, but they just never had any success. Now that they've also got this predictability and consistency, I think it's important for you to know as well that it wasn't always like this for them. Now, it makes sense why you're even in this position in the first place, right? Because coaches are coaches. You're not salesmen, and you're definitely not marketers. And now, well, how do I know this? First of all, right, research, okay? If we go online, for most other industries where you have to sell, there is information about what percentage of professionals receive sales or marketing training. I went on Google to have a little look and that's the response I got. There isn't much information. Now, following that, obviously all the coaches that I've spoke with over the years of my journey all telling me the same thing. We don't know how to sell ourselves. We don't know how to market ourselves. And that is something that my dad actually presented to me early on when I started helping coaches. He's an ICF certified coach. He does it in his spare time. And he was saying that the skill set I had could really benefit coaches because he was saying the same thing. We're all qualified coaches, but none of us know how to sell or how to market ourselves. And that's the qualified market, right? There's obviously those of you who may be watching this who aren't certified, who aren't qualified, who definitely wouldn't have had this experience if the guys paying to be qualified haven't had it either. So what I'd say is don't be too hard on yourself, right? Because it's a very common thing in the industry that coaches are struggling because they don't have that sales or marketing knowledge. Now, to follow that, not only do you not have the sales and marketing experience, but the other factor for you to consider as to why you've probably struggled is because the coaching industry has grown £1 billion in size in the last year alone, right? And that's only accounting for ICF certified coaches. I'm sure there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new coaches who aren't certified, who aren't qualified, who are also coming into the market. So there's a lot of you trying to do the same thing, trying to get the same clients. Now, I'm actually recording this in December of 2024. So as we're going into 2025, the growth and the trend and the pattern of the coaching industry is only meant to carry on and it's only meant to increase. So this fierce competition and you standing out is going to be even more difficult. So what this means for you is that for you to be able to succeed in this industry, your sales and your marketing has to be absolutely exceptional for you to be able to cut through all of this noise. So no wonder you've struggled so much, right? You're in an environment where it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. If you don't sell or market yourself, the noise itself is just going to drain you out. Now, here's the reality. Things don't need to be like this. And you're likely missing a key concept. Because here's the thing. If you're like Susanna, Jane, or Dr. Stephen, like I've just shown you, you probably haven't positioned yourself as an expert. And you're probably not operating like an evolved coach. Now, this links to my earlier point, but there's a reason that no coach looks like an expert or has evolved the way that they operate. Because like I said earlier, 99% of the coaches that I speak to have never had any proper sales or marketing training. Now, whether you're certified or not, it doesn't matter. You're all in the same boat. And a lot of coaches I find have no idea how to leverage Instagram to consistently sell their coaching. And Those who claim they've had training on sales and marketing, I'm finding that they're still struggling to get clients, and if they're using processes or systems, they're usually outdated and inefficient strategies. And again, linking back to this point, the research online says it itself, right? If you search any other industry about the amount of training that the industries get on sales and marketing, you'll probably find that. But for coaches, sales and marketing isn't a common topic to get that training in. But here's the other thing, right? Again, why should you have to learn sales and marketing? You're a coach. You're not a salesman, you're not a marketer, you're great at coaching. That's all you should really have to focus on. And look, this is exactly like my dad as well, right? Like I said, he's an ICF certified coach. He does it part-time. And he was telling me himself that all of the coaches he qualified with and others that he networked with did not receive any in-depth training about how to sell or market themselves properly. But this is why the coaching evolution is so transformational, because it solves and takes the guesswork out of every single element of sales and marketing that a coach could ever need to be able to grow predictably and consistently. Now, let me guess. You're probably wondering, okay, I need to know what this coaching evolution is, and I need to know if this could even work for somebody like me, right? Am I a coach who could benefit from this? Well, funnily enough, those are the exact questions most of the coaches like Dr. Stephen, Susanna also asked themselves. So let me show you a little bit about the results that they've got from the coaching evolution. So let's look at Susanna in a bit more detail. So Susanna went from one sales call in 2023. She hit her first ever 10k month after joining the coaching evolution and collected over £25,000, and that was just in her initial first 3 months. Dr. Stephen went from no predictability to adding 5k a month to his recurring revenue, which overall took him well past the 10k per month mark for his business. Jane, like I said, spent thousands on failed marketing attempts to making £17,435 in 1 month. We've also got Sarah, another career coach, right? She went from having no sales or marketing experience to then suddenly going on to signing 2 high-ticket clients in one singular month and continuing that trend going forward as well. We've also got Adelaide, a performance coach. She went from struggling to market to her dream clients, not understanding how to get herself in front of the clients that she wanted, to then going on to sign a client at a price point of £12,000, which is actually crazy for one singular client. Then we've also got Steve, an executive coach. He went from just starting his coaching business and having no consistency to straight away raising his prices, consistently signing on dream clients, and finally feeling like he has a proper business. Now, these are just a few examples of the coaches that have benefited from the coaching evolution. Don't want to bombard you here, but these are just a few examples of what's possible. Now, let me just show you why all of this matters at the moment, right? Because you're probably thinking, okay, why should I even consider any of this at this point in time? Well, look, the coaching industry is only going to get more competitive, right? If we look on the right-hand side, that little bit of data there, the coaching market is expected to reach 11.7 billion globally by 2032. Now, if we link back to that earlier screenshot that I shared with you, it's currently at 6 billion. So in the next 6 to 8 years is expected to grow almost $1 billion a year. Now, the markets in general are going to become extremely saturated, right? You're struggling now. There's going to be more and more coaches coming for the clients that you want. So how are you going to stand out unless people perceive you as the expert in your field? And like I said, the industry is growing year on year. So selling and marketing yourself effectively is going to be more competitive and more difficult. So what that means is the coaches who properly understand how to sell and market themselves, they're the only ones that are going to survive. So if you're a coach that's been stuck at the same monthly revenue for a while, you want to increase your monthly revenue by 400% at least every single month, you're not an expert at sales or marketing, and you want to finally have some predictability and consistently, then this is for you. Because what I'm going to show you today is exactly how the coaching evolution is going to allow you to do exactly that. And I'd recommend you stay to the end of the video, because those of you who watch it out, listen to the advice that I'm about to give you here. I'm going to offer you a free bonus for taking the time for listening and showing some seriousness. So let's get straight into this. So I just want you to imagine this for a second. Now, before we get into this, just imagine your coaching business growing consistently every single month, right? Imagine a 400% increase to your monthly revenue. Imagine waking up every single day to 20 to 30 new leads who are your dream clients ready to buy. I just want you to lay your skepticism to the side for a second. Really take this in and really imagine what that would feel like for you to have those results. What would that mean to you? How important is that for you? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because, look, I know there's a lot of people out there who are untrustworthy, who are doing this and who aren't genuine. So all I'm asking for you for the rest of this video is just lay your skepticism aside. approach this with an open mind and approach it with your dream in mind. Because again, this coaching evolution has unlocked a lot of doors for a lot of coaches. So all I ask is you approach this open-minded. So you're probably wondering, okay, who is this guy? Who is this guy telling me about the coaching evolution, telling me I need to evolve the way I operate? Well, my name's Alexandros. For short, you can call me Alexi. And I'm a digital marketer, right? I've got a digital marketing agency. I'm not a coach. That's a common misconception people have about me. But I started my journey of entrepreneurship back in 2021. Now, I started this business to bring greater purpose to my life because I was stuck in a dead-end 9-to-5 and I really hated the situation that I was in, and I believed that I could bring more value to the world rather than just working a 9-to-5 that I hated. Now, as you can see here, this was my first day of my 9-to-5, leaving the house, and this is me in the middle of my 9-to-5, obviously. And essentially what I did is I went on a desperate chase to find something to free me from that 9-to-5. And what I wanted to do was learn a skill set that I believe could serve me for now and for the rest of my life, but also a skill set that would benefit not only me, but those around me. And that's when I landed on sales and marketing. And I realized just how much this skill set could change people's lives and mine alone. Now, since deciding to go all in on learning the skill of sales and marketing, I've spent the last few years working relentlessly every single day with a minimum of 12+ hour days to learn the skills and develop the skills so I could find a process of sales and marketing that actually works. And the skill set and the process that I wanted to develop was something that would bring great fulfillment to my life, would allow me to escape my 9-to-5 job, would allow me to have time, location and financial freedom, but also have this as something that I could pass on to my clients too. At the time of recording, my journey's taken a big change, right? I've left the 9-to-5 and I'm all in on this business quite a while back now, but I've developed this skill set to such a point where I've reached a point where I've spent tens of thousands of pounds on adverts, I've generated tens of thousands of leads for coaches, and I've helped coaches generate multi-six figures in revenue for their businesses. And I've really honed in this skill set to the point where I've been able to develop something that can transform not only my life, which it has, but transform all of the coaches that I work with, no matter where they are in their journey, whether they're just starting or whether they're at 20k a month looking to get to 50k a month. The skills that I've developed have absolutely transformed myself and everyone around me. And that was the whole reason that I called my digital marketing agency Evolute, right? Because I wanted to evolve and grow. That's how I pulled together the name Evolute, myself and all of those around me. And since I started this business, whilst in the 9-to-5, whilst being unfulfilled, that's been my mission. It's been to make the biggest impact on everyone around me that I possibly could, and I'm grateful that I've been able to do that. And really, there's been no better feeling on this journey to be able to, one, transform everyone around me's lives and elevate them like the guys that I've shown you earlier, but also for me to be able to use this skill set that I've developed to live a really fulfilling life that has a lot of freedom and is done on my terms. And I'm sure a lot of you coaches resonate with that too, right? You started your business to serve others and to create fulfillment for yourself. Now, I know you're struggling to fulfill that purpose because you can't find the clients, but stick with me here because I'm going to show you everything you ever need so you can continuously fulfill that purpose and serve others. Now, what I want to show you quickly is Susanna's story in a bit more detail, because Susanna came to me at a point where she'd spent over 15 years in various organizations and roles in the corporate setting, and she started her career coaching business to bring more purpose and freedom to her life. But also because she knew that she could really help people who were stuck in the field to progress in their careers exactly like she once was. And unfortunately for her, she had a very rocky start to her business because she was great at what she did, but she was only getting really referrals and she was relying on creating organic content. And because of that, she created a post on LinkedIn and got one sales call in 2023 randomly from that post that she created. So Susanna was a great coach, knew exactly what she was doing, was only really getting business through word of mouth, and she really wanted to take things to that next level, but just didn't have the sales or marketing skill set to be able to. So now what I'll show you.
I'm at like 25, maybe close to 30K in bookings.
Okay, how did that feel getting that first?
Yeah, amazing. It was almost like I didn't think it was possible, or like that it could be so easy and effortless.
And that's just a little word from Susanna there, where she, in our first 3 months, she was able to make £25,000 in revenue for a coaching business using the coaching evolution, right? And Susanna came to me with tons of proofs of concept. She really knew what she was doing, but she just had a really big question mark about how to get clients consistently. And she wanted to take things to that next level, but she simply just had no idea how. Now, after evolving the way she operates and positioning her as the expert she is, here's what happened after 3 months. She hit her first 10K month and she collected £24,466 in cash in the first 3 months. Now, after those initial 3 months, because we carried on working together and we still are to this point, is she actually went on to hit her first ever 15K month and she collected just shy of £50,000. And again, in Susanna's own words, what she said to me was, I finally feel like I have a proper business, because she's now got that predictability and that consistency. Now, how did this process in the coaching evolution come about? Well, first of all, it was years and trial and error, right? As you can see up here of me on a Zoom call with a dodgy haircut, I spent years focusing on the wrong markets, right? I was actually serving estate agents and builders, but I realized that these types of markets didn't align with me as a person. But also, as we can see here, coming back to the point of my dad is a certified coach, like I said, and he was always telling me that whilst I was working with estate agents, the coaching market would really benefit from what I had to offer. So it all just sort of gelled together, right? As I was developing my skills, working with different industries, and obviously hearing that from my dad, it just all sort of clicked at one point. And what I realised was the skill set that I'd spent years mastering was the biggest bottleneck in the coaching industry. And I realised that coaches just simply aren't getting the exposure that they deserve. And really what happened was I just sort of had a light bulb moment where I realised that the skill set I'd developed could literally transform coaches' lives. And the beauty of it is that it has gone on to transform coaches' lives, right? It's crazy to think how a little thought all of those years ago could actually change and evolve into something like this. And as you can see from just a few of the interviews that I've done with the coaches that I've worked with, how much their lives have been transformed. And I mean, in this photo alone, there's probably hundreds of thousands of revenue that's been generated from the skill set that I've been able to share with them and help them to implement into their business. But also with working with these guys, I also realised that coaches just don't look like expert, right? And then eventually what happened was the more I started working with coaches, the more I started getting them results, I realised that with my skill set, everything I'd learnt with coaches, the amazing results and the system that I produced, I could combine this all into one place for coaches so they could have something to hand that would solve every single one of their sales and marketing challenges. Now, you're probably wondering, what even is the coaching evolution? What can it do for me? Well, first of all, what even is it? The coaching evolution is a movement. It's a movement striving you towards completely evolving the way you operate, to becoming a new type of coach, to becoming an evolved coach. So you're probably wondering, what does that even mean? Well, an evolved coach is a coach that wakes up to 20 to 30 new leads every single day, and new leads that are their dream clients. It's a coach that has proven sales and marketing systems built into their businesses, which allows them to predictably and consistently grow. And growth isn't a question for an evolved coach, for a coach that's in the coaching evolution, because they know it will come. And the beauty of it is they can decide when to ramp things up and when to increase their income simply because they have the processes in place. They also look like the experts that they spent years becoming, so they can sell their programs 100 times easier. And overall, a coach in the coaching evolution that is an evolved coach is a coach that is building a long-term sustainable coaching business that gives them freedom and peace of mind because they have everything that they need covered from a sales and marketing perspective. And that's what you can expect from the coaching evolution. So now let's look at how this actually works and how you can use this and what the journey would be of you becoming an evolved coach. Now, the journey of an evolved coach rests on these 4 pillars, right? And these 4 pillars are the fundamentals that you'll need to be able to consistently, predictably attract your dream clients on autopilot, essentially. And these will cover everything you will ever need from a sales and marketing perspective to help you to increase your income by a minimum of 400%, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So let's break down how this all works and put it in a bit more black and white terms for you. So what I've created here is a little diagram for you that shows you essentially the flow of the process. And obviously we had those 4 pictures of the different elements we work on. They all fit into this flow, which you'll see in a moment. Now, first thing to note about the coaching evolution. The coaching evolution is a strategy that mainly focuses on Instagram, right? So it's an Instagram specific strategy, and the systems you will learn here can be translated to other platforms. And as you get more established, that's something you can explore into. But when I get started with coaches, I always say focus on Instagram first. This is the best platform, and then consider expanding out afterwards. But I think you'll find a lot of the time you can get to multi-6 figures a year simply just with this process on Instagram. So let's break it down how it works. So this top part of the flow is growth marketing. And the first step to becoming an evolved coach is working on your marketing, because marketing is the fuel on the fire. If people aren't coming through the door, it's simple. There's no one to sell to, right? So First of all, what we're going to do with growth marketing is we're going to look at your niche, your positioning, and your marketing message. Very simple. If we don't know exactly who we're talking to, we can't get them through the door. So that's the first thing. Now, once we've understood who exactly we're going to be targeting, what we will be doing for you on Instagram is creating you an Instagram page that acts as a sales asset. And the next thing that we will do is we will start to position you as an expert. So we will brainstorm exactly what you need to have across your social media for people to go, wow, okay, this coach is an expert on this specific topic. Now, the reason we want you to be an expert is very simple. Let's imagine you go to the doctors, right? And you've got a severe knee issue that's about to stop you from being able to walk. So let's imagine you have the option of two doctors. Doctor one is a doctor who has done some knee surgeries successfully, but he also does some dental work and he also does some hair transplants. And when you get provided the information on Doctor 1, sounds pretty good, he's got some experience there. Now, the other doctor that you could go for, though, is Doctor 2. And Doctor 2, all he does is he focuses on knee surgeries. Now, if you were about to lose your ability to walk, what doctor would you rather go with? Would you go with the more generalist type of doctor, or would you go with the specialist? Now, the answer is obvious. You'd go for the specialist, right? And that's why we position you as an expert. We want it to be a no-brainer for people to come to you when they need their specific problem solved. Very simple. So after that, we create you very simple adverts. I call them evolved ads. They're the new way of running adverts. Like I said earlier, I have spent tens of thousands of pounds running advertisements, and these are the best types of adverts that I've seen that bring the greatest return on investment. And these ads can bring up a 10 to 12x ROAS, return on ad spend, simply just because of how effective they are. Now, then we create for you authority content and we optimize your Instagrams. Now, essentially, let me show you how that translates. So what we will be creating off the back of this for your marketing is an Instagram page that acts as a sales asset. So people will see your Instagram, follow you through the advert, see your content, and the content shows them exactly who you are and your expertise. And what will happen is that Instagram will capture people's information and will bring you 20 to 30 new leads every single day. And growth marketing.
I was frankly astonished at the number of responses that we had, and particularly those that were very serious.
Now, that's just a little snippet of Dr. Stephen, because he is an expert in his field, right? But he just wasn't being perceived in that way. So we sorted out his marketing. We applied the growth marketing principles for him. Like he said himself, the response he had from his adverts was absolutely crazy. And in the first month of working together, he booked in about 45 sales calls, which is absolutely insane. So the first transformation that your coaching business will get from the coaching evolution, we will literally transform your marketing. So instead of guessing where the next lead's going to come from, you will know that you have 20 to 30 new leads flying through your door every single day. And we can also see some words from Trixie, a parenting coach who had 150 leads in the first 5 days. And we can also see another example from a performance coach here where they had 60 leads in 48 hours. So the first thing we do in the coaching evolution to transform you and evolve you is work on your marketing. Now, the next element of the coaching evolution, and once we knuckle down your marketing and once you're getting 20 to 30 new leads every single day, is that cool? We'll be getting you all those leads, but getting you a bunch of leads and growing your audience is really useful, but it's not the thing that's going to get money in the bank. So now what we want to start doing for you is all of these leads that we're getting, we want to turn them into sales opportunities and to sales calls. And this is where the DM growth blueprint comes in. So essentially what we then do for you is we show you exactly how to convert all of these leads that you're getting in through your Instagram, how to book them in for sales calls. As simple as that, right? Because for our advert, what's going to be happening is that people are going to be following you and every new follower becomes a lead. So you're going to be growing your audience, but getting a bunch of followers doesn't mean anything to you, right? You need sales calls, you need cash in the bank. So what we then do is showing you, once you get all of those leads, all of those followers through the door, how do you then book them in for sales calls? So we have a proven system with scripts, templates and formulas that you can literally copy and paste into your DMs to book people in for a sales call. And what's going to happen off the back of that is 20 to 30 new leads every single day should turn into 1 to 2 sales calls every single day. So you're going to be turning around and turning over so many sales calls for your business that growth in your business is just simply going to be inevitable. And this is the beauty of this system, right? The volume of each step allows you to grow, allows you to have room for error, and allows you to get predictability and consistency in your business. So just stop for a second and think for yourself, what would it mean for you if you had 20 to 30 new leads turning up every single day and having conversations with majority of them with the opportunity to book them in for a sales call, how would that change your situation from where you are now to where you want to be? Again, whether you've just started out or whether you're very established in your business, having this much lead flow is going to be the biggest factor in taking you to the next place that you want to get to. So just quickly, before we talk about the next section, this is what you can expect from having a really powerful marketing system. And these are examples of messages straight from the DMs of coaches from all different types of niches. And after mastering their marketing and implementing the DM growth blueprint, every coach consistently receives messages exactly like this. And to be honest with you, I could probably fill up about 50 pages minimum of screenshots exactly like this. But you can see people open to booking a call. You can see people asking for advice. You can see people asking what services the coaches can offer. You can see people asking for calls. So these are the types of things that you can start to expect in your coaching business when you get your marketing in place, and once you have the DM growth blueprint in place, which shows you exactly how to convert these people into sales calls. Now, the next part to look at, this little orange part at the bottom, the video sales letter formula, right? Because here's the thing, booking in sales calls is great, but what if you could have people sold on your process before they even spoke to you? Sold on you, your unique way of doing things, and that means that when you do on the call, you can do less selling. And that's exactly what the video sales letter formula does. It allows you to sell people on you, your expertise, your process and your results before you ever have a call with them. And that may or may not be exactly what I'm doing on this video here. Now, next we have evolutionary sales, because look, let's be real, you're salesmen, you're not coaches. So what evolutionary sales does for you is it shows you how to sign your dream clients in a way that is authentic, non-salesy and non-pushy. But here's the thing, and the beautiful thing about this whole process, right? Because your marketing is set up to sell people on your expertise, you've booked people in the DMs and you've built that trust, you've sold them on your process through your VSL, there's not much selling that needs to be done. So the last step of the process is just really showing you how to authentically sell so you can have a 30+% close rate and so that you can consistently find your dream clients. And that's the flow, right? So you work on your marketing, get you consistent leads coming through the door, position you as an expert so people want your help. Once they're coming through the door, we'll show you how to convert all those people coming into the door into sales calls. Once they're booked in for sales calls, we show you how to sell to them before you even have a call with them. Once you've done that, we then show you how to sell them in an authentic, non-pushy way so you can consistently sign them on. And let's just look at a couple of results of this. You can see Susanna here hit a 15K month. This is someone hitting their first ever 10K month. Jane with her 17K month. We see Adelaide with her 12K client. I see Jane, she hit 5.4K in a week. We can see another 4K for Susanna here. We can see Susanna's closing rate straight from the client results tracker increasing from 19% to 31%. And this is the final piece of the puzzle, right? This sales part. And this is what's going to really allow you to start increasing your monthly income by at least 400%. And here's the beauty of this sales process as well, right? Is that once you really nail this and you learn it, this isn't just something that you use with the leads that you get from the coaching evolution and the ads that we show you to run. This sales process is something that you can use everywhere in your business. So not only can you grow with the leads that you're getting through our processes, but you can also use this in other areas as well. So it's a process that's sustainable, not just for now and for what we're doing, but for the future and for everything else that you do. Now, let me explain to you why this is so effective. Because yes, it's been proven and tested many times and it's generated hundreds of thousands of pounds in revenue for coaches. But the thing that makes it the most effective is because it's not a funnel. Now, here's the thing. Every sales and marketing book will tell you that you need a funnel, right? And the problems with a funnel is exactly shown in that little diagram that I've drawn there, right? Let's say you use a funnel. All the leads that you get in, you're going to lose some. They're going to come out the end because you don't capture them in your world. And the typical problem with lead generation and getting new clients is people use funnels and they lose the people that they're generating. So you spend all this money on adverts, but when you're running the adverts, you lose some people in the flow. And as you can see represented in that diagram, if you get 4 people in, 3 people slip out and you retain one of those people. Now, what you actually need to be using is something called a beaker. Essentially what that means is that no matter who comes into your world, they stay in your world. It means that you have people with you now and for forever. So it means that you're building a pipeline of leads so your coaching business can have that longevity, because every lead that you capture never disappears. You can nurture them through content, lead magnets, client results, etc. And this is why using the coaching evolution processes completely evolve you as a coach and set you in a completely new trajectory that other coaches could only ever dream of. And as we show here, this is the reason the flow is in this way, because a funnel would just be a straight line and this would be all in a linear way. But this isn't linear, because what then happens is, like I said, we lock in your marketing. We show you how to convert your DMs into sales calls. We show you how to make sure your sales calls have a good chance of conversion. And then we show you how to sell authentically. But once you sign people on, you can share that on your Instagram and you keep everyone in your world. And as you can see here, it fits into that beaker flow. So every lead that we generate for you, you are going to retain in your world. So even if you don't sell to them straight away, even if they don't take a call straight away, they're going to be seeing your content. They're going to be seeing what you're doing. They're going to be in your environment and you're going to be nurturing them constantly. So the money that you spend on adverts and generating these leads doesn't go to waste, because they don't just disappear. They're with you forever. And that's the beauty of this system. Now, I quickly want to share with you Jane's story of becoming an evolved coach and going through the coaching evolution, because Jane came to me at a time where she was really struggling in her business, right? She was making a decent amount of money. She was doing about 5k a month with her business, but because of her house bills and just life in general, that 5k a month wasn't really taking her anywhere. And in our client interview, she stated to me that she was in a cycle of feast or famine. It was always up and down. There was no strategy, and she was fed up of guessing where the next client would come from and just scraping the barrel. So she was actually at an interesting point. A couple of months ago, before we filmed this interview, she came to me saying, look, I don't know if I can carry on in the coaching evolution. I don't know if I can physically afford it. And not only that, but she wasn't perceived as an expert and she was using funnels. So she had three big issues, right? She was struggling to pay, she wasn't an expert, and she was using funnels. Now, after positioning her as an expert, giving her the scripts, templates, and proven processes for sales and marketing, and implementing the beaker approach into her business, like I said earlier, she was able to make £17,435 in a single month and break this usual cycle of feast or famine. And now she's an evolved coach. She evolves the way she operates. She uses beakers instead of funnels. She's got a process that she can rely on to consistently bring her clients, and she knows how to sell and market herself, which, as we said, is the biggest bottleneck for most coaches. So let me just quickly address for you some common questions that coaches have. So first of all, we have Adelaide. Now, the question Adelaide initially asked me when she signed on board is, how long will it take to get results? Now, here's the thing. The coaching evolution is a long-term game for long-term people. It's not for people that are just looking for a quick cash grab. Now, results will vary person to person in terms of time length, when and how much, depending on where you are in your journey, right? Because some coaches will join us, they'll be very established, they'll know their messaging, they know their market, they just need more leads. But other coaches will need help with their messaging and their marketing as well. So how long results take depend on where you are in your journey. So there's no guarantee that it's going to take you 3 months or 2 months. It depends where you are, how much commitment you put into the process, and how willing you are to move it forward as well. And like I say with everyone, the process works. I've got 100% undeniable confidence in it. And it's just about getting it to work for you, which is a different time length for different people depending on where they are in their journey. Now, Jane actually was concerned that it wouldn't work for her initially. And what I want to say to that is, look, I can understand this, right? There's a lot of skepticism online. There's a lot of guys doing what I'm doing, and you never know what really truly can work. But let me tell you something. If you're a coach, you're great at what you do, you have an idea of who your target audience is, and you're willing to learn and grow, and you want to build a long-term sustainable business, then this will work for you. As simple as that. And again, you can go on YouTube and watch all of the client interviews that I've done with the coaches to prove that and back that up, but I have undeniable confidence in this strategy. And Susanna was actually worried about implementing the steps in terms of would it be difficult. Now, what I've got to say to that is that it's a lot of copy and paste templates, and I'm also holding your hand along the way. So you can't really go wrong, to be honest with you, because the processes have been done and repeated so many times that it's actually harder for you to fail if you give it all of your best. And following from that, the overall process is really simple, right? It's niche and marketing message, get your ads sorted out, optimize your Instagram, turn the ads on, get the leads through the door, book the leads in for sales calls, send them your VSL, show you how to sell, and repeat the cycle. That's the process. So it's scripts, templates, copy and paste, me holding your hand, pretty much impossible for you to go wrong. Now, here where we are in this video, you've got 3 options, right? Option 1, you don't do anything. Now, I don't really need to explain this to you, but I think you know why doing nothing isn't an option. Based on the fact of the competition in the industry, how much more competitive it's going to get, if you don't know how to sell and market yourself effectively, if you're not positioned as an expert, you're simply going to get left behind. So if you don't do anything, you've just got to be comfortable in yourself of staying stuck where you are. As simple as that. Now, Option 2 is you do it alone. Now, here's the thing, and you may not expect me to say this, but you can do this alone. There's a but though. If you decide to do this alone, I just want you to be prepared that it's going to take you years longer to get where you want to get to, and it's also going to cost you thousands of pounds more than it would to join us and join our movement. It's as simple as that. Because look, at the end of the day, I learned this myself. I taught myself. So if I can do it, you can as well. However, it took me 3 years to master it, and it took me tens of thousands of pounds of lost investments to be able to make this work and to pull this all together. So you can do it alone. Again, you just need to be prepared to wait it out for those years and to spend all of that money. As simple as that. The third option is you do it with me, right? Your timeline is going to be cut down massively. You don't need to guess or figure out or make mistakes, because I've seen everything that could go wrong with potential coaches. I know all the mistakes that coaches make. I know how to solve them. And essentially, there's nowhere really where you can mess up with this. And like I said, it's all laid out for you, black and white. It's got proven scripts, proven templates, proven processes. And if you join the movement, you'll be with other coaches also to help you bounce that off of. So at the end of the day, like I said, you need to make that decision, how long you're willing to wait to get the result, and whether you're happy to go through the trials and tribulations that I've been through yourself. Like I said, I've been through it all. I know what goes wrong and why. I know exactly how to fix it. So just consider that when you're deciding what to do with this information. So if you're a coach that delivers great service and has proven results and just wants some more predictability, consistency, and is ready to make a positive change in the right direction, then obviously this is for you. So let's just do a very quick overview of the process. The coaching evolution is going to allow you to build a long-term sustainable coaching business by copy and pasting every sales and marketing system you'd ever need to thrive. And the beauty of it all is that you will learn everything in the coaching evolution in the proven most effective way possible, with a mixture of one-to-one calls, course content, and a community to help you. And again, this process has helped Susanna go from one sales call to her first 15k month, Jane from being stuck in limbo to a 17k month, and Dr. Stephen, he tried it all and he added 5k a month in extra revenue to his coaching business. Now, why now? Why should you act now? Well, it's simple. Competition is only going to get more fierce. The industry is going to continue to grow, and it's only going to get harder for you to get where you want to get to. And look, this isn't me trying to scare you. This is just a fact. And if you've got this far in this video, look, I can tell you've got some seriousness about you. So I'd recommend that you take some action and you do something with this information that you've got. Because look, at the end of the day, the only one that's going to be affected by this growth is you. Your dreams are being sacrificed. Your freedom is being held captive. Your purpose isn't being fulfilled. Your clients are not getting served simply because they can't find you. So don't hold yourself back. But if you act now, if you do something about this now, if you position yourself as an expert, if you set up every sales and marketing system you'd ever need, you will be okay. But what I want to say is don't let everyone get ahead of you. Get ahead of the pack. And the simple fact that you're watching this means you're 50% ahead of the 99%. So make sure you do something with this, because you're in the prime position to change your situation around and get to exactly where you want to be with your coaching business. So obviously earlier on in the video, I offered you a bonus. So if you take action today, I'm going to give you a completely free social media audit to show you the biggest flaws within your coaching business, to help you to start to position yourself as an expert. And I'm also going to show you in this social media audit how you can optimize your social media to convert lookers into clients. So what next? So if you want that free social media audit, if you want to take your business to that next level, if you want to become an evolved coach and join the movement of the coaching evolution, book in a free call with me and see how this can work for you. You can use the link below, which is attached in the video, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can go from where you are now to exactly where you want to be using the coaching evolution. So if you decide to book in a call, I'm excited to meet you. I'm looking forward to turning you into an evolved coach.